Today's biology lesson, brought to you by Stempathize, is about invasive species and extinction for grades 3 through 5. A little bit about us is that we are high school volunteers from Stempathize, which is an organization that hosts hands-on workshops for students like you to be interested in STEM. Our website is www.stempathize.org. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel for fun monthly at-home activities that you can participate in at home. If you ever miss a workshop, you can watch a recorded workshop like this one, which will be published on our YouTube channel. Do you or your parents have Instagram? You can follow us at stempathize.us, where we post fun, informational posts about STEM, like these posts below. Starting off with the icebreaker, my name is Marupa. I am in the 11th grade and I like reading. A species is a collection of similar living things that form a group, like tarantula or rattlesnake. Extinction is when there are no more members of a species left. A native species is a species that is native or from a certain region, like how penguins are native to Antarctica. An invasive species is a species that hurts a new environment that they're not native to, like if elephants showed up to Antarctica. Our first activity is mix and match, where students will be given traits of invasive and native species and will be asked to match them to the correct category. For this, you'll need one sheet of paper and a pencil or writing utensil. So before we get started, a native species is already part of the ecosystem it's in. An invasive species is introduced to an ecosystem and harms it. The yellow star thistle is a plant native to the Mediterranean. When it was introduced to California, it started to compete with the other plant species found in the area. On the other hand, the California poppy is native to California, and it's been part of those ecosystems ever since the species emerged. Which one's native and which one's invasive? Find out in our next activity. Step 1. Split your paper into 4 sections. Step 2. Write native species in the top left box and invasive species in the bottom left box. Finally, match the statement or species to the type of species. You can pause this video and work through this on your own, then check your answers with us when you're ready. Step 4. Compare your answers to the answer sheet here, or my answers. Why did you choose your answers? I knew that the first statement, the species is from its ecosystem, was for native species, because that's the definition of a native species. I also knew that native species means that the species belongs in its ecosystem, which is statement number 4. And finally, this describes the California poppy, because the California poppy has been in California ecosystems since that poppy was there. On the other hand, for invasive species, I chose statement number 2, which means that this species is not from its ecosystem. And statement number 3, which is that the species harms its ecosystem, because this is the definition of an invasive species. Finally, I chose the yellow star thistle because this species used to be from the Mediterranean and was brought to California later on. It also competed with other plant species which harms the environment. You can have a 5-minute break. Moving on to our next activity, which is the Bengal tiger activity. An endangered species is a species that is threatened by extinction. This can be caused by things like habitat loss and conflict with humans. In this activity, students will learn about the Bengal tiger and how it is being endangered. They will be given a background on what extinction means and how it happened, and then they'll follow a guided lesson to draw a Bengal tiger in their native habitat. For this activity, you'll need one piece of paper and a pencil or any other writing utensil. Before you get started, the Bengal tiger needs large areas to live, eat, and raise their children. People are cutting down the trees that make up their habitat, making it smaller and more difficult for the tigers to live. Because people are moving to the places where the trees were cut down and living there, the tigers might go to nearby villages for food, like cows and pigs. This may lead to people living there to get angry and hunt down the tiger. Step 1 is to follow this drawing tutorial using this link. You can pause this video and come back to it when you finish drawing the tiger. Step 2. Draw some trees around the tiger to put it in its habitat. Here's my drawing of my tiger with some trees and grass and bushes in the background. How can we help the tiger population? I think we can help the tiger population by not interrupting its habitat. This can mean that we don't build houses or other types of buildings in places where a tiger may want to live, because tigers need a lot of room to live. This also helps us in turn because we don't have our communities disrupted by tigers coming into our homes. Thank you for coming.